Part 2. Verdant Wind. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Myrddin, the Alliance army invades the Imperial territories. In response, the Imperial army garrisons soldiers at Fort Merceus.
All of that went about as well as it could have. Each lord has agreed to provide us with soldiers and supplies.
I'm impressed you were able to convince all of those scattered nobles to help us. I thought they would quarrel about how much support they should each provide. That's what they usually do.
Well, Count Gloucester took the initiative in taking on responsibilities. I presume that was because you spoke with him in advance, Lawrence.
I merely explained the situation at hand. Then my father simply followed your lead, Claude. It was because you had the professor there to represent Lady Rhea. My father is a pious follower of the Church of Seiros.
I don't doubt it. I wasn't under the delusion that it was my personal charm that unified everyone. Thanks for that, by the way. I hope you don't feel like I used you, because I sort of used you. I appreciate that. We don't have time to be picky about our methods. But be honest, you're having a hard time adjusting to your new role, aren't you? You weren't even a follower of Seiros to begin with, and somehow you've ended up as a representative of the Church. I realize that you might feel guilty about deceiving the believers for our cause. But this is just what the Archbishop wanted, and she's the highest authority in the Church. Besides, as wielder of the Sword of the Creator, it's undeniable that you're special. I think you should be more confident in yourself and use your position to the fullest.
I have news. Our enemy is gathering troops at Fort Merceus. Their army is immense, likely led by a renowned general, or perhaps even...
Perhaps. But she's more than that now. She's the actual Emperor. If we can defeat her, the Empire will collapse.
There's something else. An unidentified army has approached the Great Bridge of Myrddin. They passed through the Daphne and Gloucester territories from the northwest with incredible speed. They're raising the banner of House Blaiddyd. Perhaps they are the remnants of the Faerghus royal family. From what we could tell, they posed no threat to the citizens of the Alliance, and so we refrained from engaging them in needless combat.
Maybe they hope to fight against the Empire to avenge their fallen prince. And what about the bridge itself?
Obviously, we wouldn't let them pass without receiving envoys first. We thought they may try to force their way through. We considered firing warning arrows, but they left immediately, heading east.
Are they intending to use one of the bridges in Ordelia territory?
Most likely. But the Imperial Army still controls those bridges. I can't imagine what they intend to do in the Empire, even if they do manage to break through.
I'm reluctant to ease up on our surveillance, but it would be difficult to track them there. For now, let's assume they're just troops belonging to the Old Kingdom. In any case, we should proceed with caution. Soon we'll be entering Empire territory ourselves. If our enemies are going to intercept us with an attack, it will probably be at Gronder Field. How fitting that it was the site of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion 5 years ago. My next steps are clear.
Right.
So the Boar Prince is dead. Decapitated, I hear. I haven't seen the severed head myself. Perhaps he's still alive and leading that army. You're right. They Can't let my emotions take hold. Either way, a major battle awaits us. Try not to die. I'd be annoyed if you did.
After we cross the Great Bridge of Myrddin, we'll be in my father's territory. We actually crossed it 5 years ago for the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Remember? Oh, this is terrifying. What am I gonna do? I gotta get a grip. You think we'll meet him on the battlefield and he'll kill me? The front lines cover a long stretch of land, you know. We might not even run into him.
Indeed. When undertaking research, the usual method is to form a hypothesis, then test it with experiments. Those experiments reveal facts and falsehoods, yet sometimes they also unveil an exception. You seem to be that exception when it comes to my crest research. Worry not, Professor. Exceptions are what make my work interesting. Why don't the rules apply to you? I will find out eventually. I feel it is my destiny as a crest scholar.
Don't get used to this. Never let your guard down. Don't get used to this. Never let your guard down. Fighting wears me out.
Hey.
We captured the Great Bridge of Myrddin, but the fight has only just begun. Enbarr, the Imperial capital, lies far to the south beyond Gronder Field. And waiting for us on the way there is the entire Imperial army, with twice as many troops as us. We had better brace ourselves.
The Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I am glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I seem to lack the skills required to grieve for the dead. If someone has passed, even someone dear to me, I could stand about and wail or get on with my life. While I'm at it, that whole idea that we must speak well of the dead, I don't understand that either. If I didn't like them when they were alive, then why pretend to do so when they are no longer here?
Professor, thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Myrddin at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
Since little Claude became their leader, the Alliance Lords haven't been especially unified. Now they're suddenly united for a common cause. As a result, the Empire hasn't been able to perform even one successful incursion. Rather, we're the ones who might get the jump on them. It's incredible. Magical, even. Maybe his strategic genius was simmering for those 5 years, and it returned to a full boil once you two were reunited. Or maybe he always knew he'd meet you again, and he was preparing for that this whole time.
Professor? The time's come to fight the Empire, huh? Wow, it's shaping up to be quite the battle. And I've got no problem with that. But that mystery army really worries me. There's no indication if they're friend or foe. Who do you think they are, Professor? Not unless he rose from the grave to secure revenge. That would mean... Actually, I have no idea what that would mean. Well, whoever they are, I hope we can avoid fighting them.
So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
Right.
Hey,
Hey!
Word just reached me that the Empire has stationed soldiers in Fort Merceus. If they decide to dig in their heels and defend the fort, we'll be in a difficult situation. I hear it's an impregnable keep, surrounded by high ramparts. Taking it would not be easy.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Professor, beyond the Great Bridge of Myrddin, it's all unfamiliar territory for us. We don't know where Lady Rhea's being held. We ought to investigate all potential locations thoroughly. The Knights of Seiros will handle the search. We'll report back if we learn anything.
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
I've cut all contact with my family since joining this fight. Were I to see soldiers of the Galatea family amidst the host flying the royal family's banner, well, all chance of reconciliation with my father would end there. I do not know if that is the right path, but the fact is, I've come this far. There's no time for second guessing. Not anymore.
So, if we defeat the Imperial army at Gronder Field, what will our next objective be? I guess we won't have much choice but to try to take Fort Merceus, on the far side of Gronder Field. It's probably too soon for us to be thinking about that, isn't it? I'm sure it's already occurred to Claude, though.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up? Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them. That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
Lady Rhea. I've gotta keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Blaiddyd. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all!
Hello there.
This one, yes? I thank you. Return soon, please. Hello! Will this one do? It's all yours. Take it. Will this one do? It's all. 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 Will this one? It's all. Will this one do? It's all yours. Will this one do? It's all. Will this one? It's all. Will this one do? It's all yours. Take it. Will this one do? It's all you. Will this one do? It's all you. Tell your friends.
A moment, please.
Hey there. Is this it? There you go. Is this it? There you go. Is this it? There you go. Come back anytime.
Since you secured the Great Bridge of Merden, trade got a lot easier within the Empire. Nevertheless, profits are rather thin compared to how it was 5 years ago. You can't be much of a trader unless you're prepared to traverse the whole of Fodlan.
Reconnaissance is becoming more of a risk the deeper we move into enemy territory. If I don't come back, assume I'm dead. Good. We have to be realistic. Don't waste your energy worrying about me.
Lady Rhea. Huh? I can hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. I never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. If you don't mind me saying, you don't look like you're in the middle of a crisis either. Oh, perhaps that was a little rude of me? Actually, it's the Great Tree Moon now, isn't it? Not that anyone's in much of a mood to celebrate the new year, of course.
So, we're finally going to set foot in the Empire. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I guess there's a good chance we'll be fighting more old friends from here on out.
Professor, Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course, that was a very different time. When it was over, all 3 class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we? Claude? Excuse me, could you do me a favor? Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart. Professor, we might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Merceus, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns. I don't know why you're so confident, but it does somehow make me feel better. Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get. Hi. So, the campaign continues, does it? Well, allow me, as a professional recluse with 10 years of experience, to volunteer for, staying behind. Oh, who am I kidding? The fighting won't stop until we've defeated Edelgard, will it? Or until we lose, I guess. But there's not much use in thinking about that.
It's like I'm a graduate of the Golden Deer House, but that was a little before your time, Professor. We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Of course, we mostly have Holtz to thank for that. And now he's the greatest general in the Alliance. I didn't do so great in comparison.
Professor.
The Great Bridge of Myrden was considerably better fortified than it was 5 years ago. The bridge was full of soldiers, and they all died.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Really?
I heard that some unidentified troops have appeared, but apparently they were flying the flag of the Faerghus royal family. Do you think it was Dimitri's ghost? His country was taken before he ever wore the crown. Surely he must regret that. No. Claude seems filled with confidence, but I wonder if everything really will be okay. The Imperial army might be hiding the Emperor, and the troops headed south might belong to the Old Kingdom. I'll be honest, I'm incredibly uneasy about all of this. But at this point, there's no option but to move forward.
I trust you and Claude, but I feel uneasy. If we lose in the next battle, the Empire's army will likely come surging into Alliance territory. If that happens, my parents won't escape unharmed. They've raised their anti-Imperial flag after all. You're right. I chose my path. I must press on. That's all anyone can do, really. Speaking with you has eased my mind a bit. Just enough, in fact, to put me in the mood for sweets.
Something else. House Gloucester has changed its allegiance and joined the faction that is against the Empire. The Alliance will thus remain united. But thanks to this latest ploy, my father is more suspicious of Claude now than ever, if such a thing is possible. Ordinarily, I might credit his helpful posture toward us to his devout faith in the Church of Seiros. But it is clear to me now that this is nothing more than a shrewd calculation on his part. He is only thinking of his position. We are in the clear for now, but please bear in mind that the Alliance is never an entirely stable union.
So, we're finally invading Empire territory, huh? There's not much we can do right now, except pray for deliverance. I truly believe that we have it in us to succeed.
We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle is a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't rely on the protection of the goddess. With your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory.
If this mysterious military force is the remnants of the kingdom, you'd think there would have been the possibility of a united front. But from what I've heard, that's going to be difficult. Their behavior is very erratic. If they're clamoring for revenge and death, then it's probably better if we have nothing to do with them.
Nobles who are changing allegiance again and again. I do not have understanding for that. How can you trust if treason comes with ease? How can you be calling yourself a noble? I do not have understanding of the reasoning. Survival has more importance than that. Are they not knowing this?
Right.
There.
Hey, I hear the next battle could be a big one. Is that true? I miss the old days when if someone got hurt, we'd rush them to the infirmary and make them well. But on the battlefield, there's not enough time to help. People die. Professor, don't be one of those.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. But I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
I did not expect much from the dining hall, but this does not disappoint.
Eating food always fires me up. Hoorah! Let's go fight somebody!
I may not look it, but I'm a pretty good cook. Now, come on, ingredients. Let's dance. Don't worry too much about all the details. Just do what feels right, and the tasty food will follow. I see. Singing is so much fun. Everyone should enjoy themselves while they're doing it. Singing with others is a nice change of pace. Usually I do it when I'm alone. Oh, you're still here? Lysithia, hi! Did you forget something? I did. What are you reading? Just something I found. Though there are things in here I don't quite get. Is that the Compendium of Light and Dark? It is! Amazing how you could tell that just from a glance at the cover. I've read it so many times, I have nearly the entire thing memorized. That said, it does seem to take liberties with some topics, so be aware of that while you're reading it. Wait, really? Yikes. Thanks for the warning. You've got quite the stack of books here for only wanting to brush up on one thing. I knew you were a hard worker, Annette. No, not as much as some people. I'm... sorry. There I go again. It's alright. In getting to know you, I've taken some time to self-reflect. I used to think that I worked harder than anyone. But I'm not so sure anymore. I have to work even harder to keep pace with you. Oh no! But then I'll have to work extra hard to keep up with you! Well, if you work extra hard, I'll need to work super duper extra hard! Oh, come on! Fine. Super duper quadruple extra hard it is! Okay, that's enough. We could do this forever, but we've got better things to do. Sorry. It's fun to see you get carried away like that, though. I'm glad we had this chat. I feel excited to continue working super duper extra hard now. I'm lucky to have someone like you around to inspire me. I feel the same. I'll do my best to keep pace with you. Why are you smiling? Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking about how nice it is that we can motivate each other like this. It is nice, isn't it?
but I still intend to surpass you. Nuh-uh, I'm gonna surpass you. But before that, could you explain this part of the book to me? I'm not quite sure how someone of your caliber is struggling with this one, but let me break it down for you.
Wow, I can have this?
Oh, hi, Professor. Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard. I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today. It's just, now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself. Please, you have to help me. What should I do? I can't relax if I'm doing nothing. I need something to keep me occupied or I'll go nuts. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best. Oh! You're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right? If you do, please teach me. I'm begging you. I'm at my wit's end. Got it. I'll try that right now. This candy is so sweet and delicious, and it goes so well with piping hot tea. Ooh, and speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible. I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, will you teach me how to brew tea like this? I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks. Oh, sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems. So, why is it so difficult to not do my best? I try and try to not try, but it just doesn't work. Professor? You're right. Doing nothing is just not my style. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day. Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? Please. Oh, and also, well, thank you. You've listened to me and helped me face my troubles. Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything. Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever.
This food is a revelation. I can't help but smile when I eat it.
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day. That looks delicious. Goddess forgive me, I've just got to indulge.
The flavor is nostalgic to me for some reason. I'd like some more.
This is my most favorite dish of all. I love it almost as much as Crestology itself.
Oh, my favorite food! You've got to try this.
Nothing here.
What are you doing?
Oh, Flayn! I've just been researching the exploits of Saint Sethlene.
And why is it you're doing that precisely?
Well, painting is a hobby of mine, and I thought I might like to capture her likeness.
Well, how lovely.
But how is researching her exploits necessary for painting?
If I wanted to use a statue of Saint Cethline for my reference, it wouldn't be necessary. But that's not what I want. I wish to paint Saint Cethline herself, looking exactly as she did when she was alive. And if I don't know anything about who she was on the inside, the image won't be true to life. So I wanted to find some hints about who she was, and that's why I've been researching her deeds.
Ah, so you were hoping to find out what type of girl she was.
Girl? Interesting way of putting it, but yes, more or less.
I see. Yes, it is all quite clear to me now.
What's happening?
Okay then. Allow me to share with you what I know of Cethline's deeds. Long ago, in a world ravaged by war, Cethline led a secluded life with her father, Keyhole. One day, they met Saint Zeros, who was grieved by the chaos and destruction of war. And so, the three decided to join forces.
Huh? But I thought the saints gathered following a revelation from the goddess.
At the Battle of Teotine, they fought against the 10 elites led by Nemesis, who sought to conquer the whole world. Cethline tended to her allies on the field of battle, until she exhausted all her strength. Then, she fell into a long slumber.
But according to legend, she used her miraculous powers to heal all of the wounded.
Interesting story, is it not? Have you perhaps learned something new about Cethline?
Having heard all that, I'd say she seems incredible.
Incredible? Well, I haven't heard that before. I feel certain you and I will be fast friends. Let us talk again soon.
Huh. Who knew Flame was such an expert on Cethline?
There's still more to learn.
Welcome! Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. Come back soon. Yeah! Who's the best? I'm the best. I'm glad I put in some effort, for once. That was so helpful. Thanks. Yeah! Who's the best? I'm the best. That was so helpful. Thanks.
Just as I've always expected. Perhaps I'll expand the scope of my research. No matter how old one gets, it's always nice to hear, "Job well done." Just as I've always expected. That was rather productive.
That wasn't difficult. Your praise is appreciated. That wasn't difficult. Let's do this again. You're a good professor.
That was adequate.
Tell me, am I achieving anything yet? It is a long road to mastery. Tell me, am I achieving anything yet? Oh, I was right? How embarrassing. I'm not used to such praise. It is a long road to mastery. Hey, that was useful.
I'm always improving. Thank you for teaching me.
Well, may I? Oh, of course. Professor.
Which means that there are some elements of your power that cannot be explained by current theory. Although this may lead to a discovery that alters the very fabric of Crest research. Oh, pardon me, Professor. I became lost in thought, and I do tend to ramble. I suggest we call it a day. Do you concur? It seems that I have gotten carried away again. My apologies. I know you are quite busy. I become so energized around you. When we get deep into the research, why, I feel 20 years younger. That said, perhaps we should discuss things unrelated to crests from time to time. Some sort of silly, light-hearted topic might be nice, eh? I'm not especially skilled at small talk, alas. Let me see. Perhaps we should discuss... I know. Food. Not my strong suit, the culinary arts, but I do enjoy a good meal. Which kind of food do you prefer, Professor? Sweet or spicy? Spicy? Quite the opposite of me. Yet you're an exception in lots of ways, so it's not altogether surprising. An old colleague of mine theorized that those who bear crests favor sweet flavors over spicy. She suggested that the crest exerts some manner of influence over... Oh, there I go again. How embarrassing. We were supposed to be avoiding talk of crests, weren't we? Terrible habit of mine, finding a way to turn any conversation towards crests. I really should find a way to stop that. That is kind of you, Professor, but it's all right. If you were to lose your patience with me, it could have an incalculable impact on my research. That sort of thing has happened in the past, you know. Back when I was still in the Empire. At first, any lady I was spending time with would titter and say she didn't mind if I talked about crests. But at some point, she would always become fed up and stop listening to what I had to say. In the end, invariably, while I was particularly focused on my research, she would write to say we were done. I will do everything I can to keep that from happening this time.
I'm confident in our chances.
Okay, let's get started.
We completed our task without incident.
I am getting to the heart of it.
Perseverance is the key. This'll be helpful.
Can I use this off the battlefield?
It seems my proficiency has improved.
I'm getting it.
Oh, it's Sedith. I'd better slip away before he...
Ah, I see you are indulging in a bit of reading. You are fond of books, I take it?
Yes, reading's one of my favorite pastimes. I was just finishing up, actually, so I think I'll...
That is most fortuitous.
Fortuitous? How do you figure?
Come with me. I have a story to share with you. Once upon a time, deep in the cold mountains, there lived a lazy fox and an industrious squirrel. The squirrel worked tirelessly all day long, while the fox did nothing but lounge around and play. When autumn came, the squirrel hurriedly gathered up acorns for the winter. But the fox continued to play without a care. A biting winter fell upon the land. The mountains, caked in snow, concealed all nourishment from sight. The hungry fox went to the squirrel's dwelling, but the squirrel had locked up tight and gone to sleep. Every so often, the squirrel would wake, enjoy a nibble of an acorn, and then return to an easy slumber. The fox, on the other hand, with nowhere else to turn, was forced to scrounge for food in the bitter cold of the forest. Forlorn and hungry, he wandered in solitude all through the winter, until spring came once more. And so it is to this very day that foxes are denied the comforts of hibernation.
Ah, I really learned something about foxes. I read lots of fairy tales like that when I was little. But the lazy fox and the industrious squirrel, huh? That one I don't think I've heard before.
That is not surprising, considering I wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it?
I did. When Flame was young, she loved fairy tales more than anything. I would read them to her often. This one, however, is a more recent creation. I wrote it for the benefit of the children in the monastery. So, what do you think? I'm curious to hear what sort of impression it made on you.
It's so cute!
You found it to be cute?
I can just see it now. You writing fairy tales for your little sister. That's just the cutest thing. Honestly, to me, you usually come across as stern and overly perceptive. But now I know you have a sweet side, too. I feel like I'm seeing you in a whole new light.
That is not what I was hoping to hear.